Well, hello. Welcome to a continuing devotional through the book of First Thessalonians. We're currently in First Thessalonians chapter 4, and when we're in the latter, almost to the end of chapter 4, which is a passage that deals with the final state, death, the resurrection, the return of Jesus, end times, all events related to what we sometimes call eschatology. So we saw in our last couple verses, verses 15 and 16, that Christians who have died will come back with Jesus, and they will receive their new physical bodies. Christians who have not yet died will bypass death. They will be transformed and they will meet Jesus in the air. This event is often called the rapture, and even though there's debates among Christians about some of the details of it, all Christians who believe the basics of the faith believe that there is a return of Jesus, there is a physical resurrection, and there is eternity with Jesus. And that's the most important part. Now, having said that, that's clearly a big deal. That's clearly a radical thing. And people might say, well, how's that going to happen? We're talking about millions and millions and hundreds of millions of people who have died, over some of them thousands of years ago. How in the world can all of those people be resurrected? How can this take place? Well, we're told that in verse 16. It says, for the Lord himself, God, Jesus, the creator of all, himself will descend from heaven with a cry of command, with the voice of an archangel, and with the sound of the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ, those who died as Christians, will rise first. So what he's saying here is our physical resurrection, our transformation to our glorified bodies is absolutely certain because it's done by God's own authority, his own power, the one who created all and created everything, which says he's going to come and he's going to shout out with overwhelming, irresistible summons, with the voice of command, with the voice of an archangel, with the cry of command, with the sound of a trumpet. All of these are phrases saying with power, with great power, he's going to say, come forth. And the same power that Jesus displayed when he called out to the grave of Lazarus, come forth, and guaranteed that there was no other option but for Lazarus to be resurrected from the dead, is going to say that to the entire world. And every Christian will be experience a physical resurrection. Now, I say all of this because sometimes Christians get concerned about things like, well, what about my body? And what if I die at sea? Or what if I'm eaten by a shark? I'm not being facetious here. People have asked me these kinds of questions. What about cremation? What if my body's nothing but ashes? Well, I think if you really think about it, over time, everyone's body, physical body, will turn to nothing but ashes. But that's not a problem for God. He's the one that created it all from nothing. And now he's going to come back with the cry of command, with the voice of an archangel, with the sound of the trumpet of God. And when Jesus says, come forth, you will come forth. Now he goes on to say, verse 17, that we who are alive, the Christians who are alive when Jesus returns, who are left, will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so will we always be with the Lord. Therefore, encourage one another with these words. So the basic premise here is not just telling us the details about the order of events, though that's there. Those who are alive who are left will be caught up together, and we will be together with those who had died as Christians. Will meet the Lord in the air. But the main emphasis is on that eternal togetherness. No more fear of separation. No more being separated from the Lord. We'll be with him face to face. No more being separated from our loved ones who are Christians ever again. That's why he says in verse 17, we will be caught up together with them, and we will be always with the Lord. Therefore, encourage one another with these words. What is the encouragement? The encouragement is every separation is over. Everything that kept us apart, everything that's caused us grief and pain and hurt is over. We will be with the Lord, and we will be with each other, and we will be in a perfect world forever and ever and ever. And I find that to be super encouraging, and I hope that you do also. We'll continue to speak in First Thessalonians chapter 5, where he continues to speak about end time events in our next devotional. Have a blessed day.